Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about being a better Dungeons and Dragons player. Okay, and this is new advice based on the facts on the ground. Now, we play Dungeons and Dragons in a real culture, and this is for American players. And things change, and so this is going to be some new advice. All right, so how do you be a better Dungeons and Dragons player? So first of all, this advice is for physical tables, right? And you're like, Scott, I play online. Stop playing online. You should stop that, right? It is a waste of time, and you should not do it. And the reason why is Gary Gygax created this game to be played at tables, and in my opinion, if you have a physical disability and I don't know, we have ADA in America, like, you could get out. Like, there are literally laws that make accessibility higher. But I'll give a pass, okay? If you have some kind of physical disability, I'm not speaking to you. But if you don't, right, first of all, stop playing in online games. It's a waste of time. It doesn't help anyone, in my humble opinion. And it's a shadow of the game you could be playing, right? So I think this is really important to just realize this game was meant to be played at a physical table, and that's where this game shines, and that's where you're going to get the best benefits. So, and you're like, well, I don't, there's no games around me. Make one, all right? Like, you become the dungeon master, get one player, and start. Make it awesome, and your players will invite others to it, right? That's literally how my current at-home table game literally started this way. I just called up one of my friends and I said, I'm running this Sunday, show up, and we're going to run. And I just rearranged my table so I can fit up to eight players, and we're full at 6, right? Like, and actually all the players are like, we don't want any more people in this room. It's not big enough, right? So one, stop playing online, start getting on table, okay? And then what else do you do to be a better Dungeons and Dragons player today? Here's the biggest one. Before and after, so you show up, right? You might be one. Don't show up to a game earlier than 15 minutes earlier than start time. It's not helpful to host, right? And also, honestly, I would leave within 30 minutes after, right? Just so that the host has it contained, right? But that's 45 minutes of possible talk time, right? Now, what I have seen in every game I've ever played is there's D&D talk before and there's D&D talk after. And this is new and this is fresh, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Before the game, do not talk about D&D. After the game, do not talk about Dungeons and Dragons, okay? It is the power of Dungeons and Dragons lives in the table, in my opinion, right? And you have this Dungeons and Dragons time is set up as a shrine to attention. We were saying, during this play, you are going to think about nothing but Dungeons and Dragons. You're going to interact with the player characters around you. You're going to interact with the dungeon master. And this exists almost nowhere out of the sacred space, right? People of faith get together every single week. They go to church and they spend time learning one thing, right? In the secular world, this does happen in films, right? Films are shrines to attention. They say, focus on this. Nothing else comes into this space, right? Dungeons and Dragons table is the same. It is a shrine to attention, right? But that 15 minutes before and that 30 minutes after, shut it down on the D&D talk. Turn to the person on your right, turn to the person on your left, and ask them about themselves. Simply ask questions about them. How was your week, right? Where were you born? Do you have brothers and sisters, right? What's your favorite color? Like, and I'm going to give you a secret, right? The secret to being a winsome human is sealing thine flapping maw about you and what you care about, and shifting the focus to the human being in front of you. It's so critically important, right? You need to stop thinking about yourself. You need to shut down your, narcissistic nonsense for 5 minutes and just focus and learn about the person on the right or your left. And I'll tell you right now, it is so winsome and so powerful and so valuable because it happens so infrequently. In America, everybody is focused on themselves. It's all about self. It's all about self-care, right? And you will be amazed how incredibly engaging it is, right, to someone else when you simply say, all I want to know in this 15 minutes is more about you. All I want to know in this 30 minutes is more about you. And that time, right, is going to build trust, is going to build fellowship, is going to build camaraderie between you and that other player, right? And you will get massive, incredible dividends at the table for that. It will, by stopping talking about D&D and stopping talking about builds and stopping talking even about the narrative of what just happened. You're going to say, you and I are seated within a foot of each other. I care about you as a human being, right? And I'm going to demonstrate that by simply learning more about you, right? Now, I will give you a warning. This might be shocking and weird to some people. And the reason why is that it's not because it is shocking or weird. It's just we have such a self-centered, selfish culture in America that this may shock people, right? So don't be surprised if they're like, whoa, you asking me where I was born? And you're like, yeah, that's a weird question. I haven't asked that in a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. And what you do say is, oh, hey, the only reason is you and I are Dungeons & Dragons players together. I know your player character better than I know you, and I want to change that, right? So have an answer ready, and just, this is the way to get it done. This is the way to make Dungeons & Dragons better, in my humble opinion. What's your humble opinion? Have you done this? Are you planning on doing this? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.